Hello and welcome to Talking Music, where every song has a story. My name's Paul, and on this channel we like to get behind the story of a song with facts and information and sometimes secrets. And the song we're featuring today is this one from Blur, Country House. This song was released in the summer of 1995 and vied with Oasis and Roll With It in what was called by the newspapers and TV the Britpop chart battle of the decade, and it got extensive coverage.
Two of Britain's most popular pop groups have begun the biggest chart war in 30 years. The Manchester band Oasis and their arch rivals Blur released new singles today, each hoping to reach the #1 spot next week.
For a while we had a rivalry not unlike the Beatles and the Stones in the 1960s. Country House was written by lead singer Damon Albarn with the rest of the band and was the first single of the Great Escape album. The song is about a man who lives a mundane life in a mansion in the countryside. The countryside, on this occasion, is Barton-le-Clay, just outside Luton in Bedfordshire, which itself is just outside of London. The song is about David Balfe, who was one of the owners of Blur's record label, Food Records. He'd got tired of the music business, the disappointments, the arguments, the fact that you can work for a year non-stop on trying to make something happen and fail with nothing to show for it. So he sold the label as a professional cynic whose heart's not in it.
I wandered into food offices one day to see Andy, and I was looking at some cassettes on his desk, and I saw a new Blur song called Country House, and I said, picked it up and go, "What, is this about me?" Jokingly, and Andy looked kind of embarrassed at me at the time. I thought, oh, it is about me.
Yeah, Country House is based on Dave Balfe. It was, but it's also, oh God, I don't want to talk about that song. Fucking nightmare.
Damon Albarn was never happy with the song, and that whole period between 94 and 96, the battle of Britpop, the media's attempt to pitch the UK's two biggest rock bands together in an effort to find a winner, is a period he's tried to forget.
I can't really look on it in any other way other than a grand farce, really. It was the wrong song for that particular moment, but, you know, in a way, I'm kind of glad that we did it, because I don't think we'd have maybe been able to escape the whole sort of thing about being a big band and being involved with the tabloids and just that whole circus which none of us were comfortable with.
Dave Balfe, on the other hand, is very proud of the song. He said it's not their best, but it is a good little pop song, and he's got fond memories of his children, who were 6 and 4 at the time, and when it came on the radio they used to say it was Daddy's song, and his mates used to put it on the jukebox whenever he walked into the pub. He's also proud that in the Britpop battle, Country House defeated Roll With It, and his song now has a place in rock music history. Roll With It from Oasis had a single release date of the 20th of August 1995, and Damon moved the release date of Country House to the same day so the songs would compete. This was because even though he detested the media hype between the two bands, he felt his band was being bullied by the hard-drinking band from the north, and he wanted to do something to stand up to them.
I don't relate to that period at all. It was completely surreal. Every day I'd have people reminding me of Oasis in whatever way they could. Literally, I'd walk down the street and people would open windows or open doors and turn up the stereo. And every shop I went into, they'd change the tape and put an Oasis one. Every pub, you know, it was just relentless.
Graham Coxon from the band was also fed up with the hype too.
All these record company people, all these journalists and all these other groups and all these pretentious twanners that are in management and agents, they can all just piss off because they're so boring, vacuous, and all up their own arses. You know, I just found it very cheap, the whole attention that was put on it, that sort of focus, that sort of battle of Britpop, working class northerners and shandy drinking southerners, you know, battle it out for the #1 slot.
The video for the song was directed by Damien Hirst, the artist, and featured the actor Keith Allen and the comedian Matt Lucas. The house in the video is not actually Dave Balfe's house in Bedfordshire, but a palace in Austria. But Dave didn't correct too many people about that fact. It also featured a pastiche of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. The cover of the single is a picture of an even grander house. In fact, it's a castle in Bavaria in Germany. In the lead-up to the release date of both songs, the press intensified its coverage, and some of it was swinging the way of Oasis. Damon himself was resigned to the fact that Oasis were going to win after he had read NME. Oasis with Roll With It offered a rock tune that was hard to pull apart, and Blur were presenting something like a novelty song. The song wasn't released in the States, but let's see how it fared in the UK. Here you can see the UK singles chart for the 26th of August 1995, and the two songs went straight in at numbers 1 and 2. Blur selling 270,000 records in that first week of sales, making it number 1. Oasis selling just shy of 250,000 in the same period, but numbers 1 and 2. Blur went on to be number 1 for 2 weeks, but that was enough to prevent Oasis topping the charts, so all the hype for the Battle of Britpop ended with this win in the charts for Blur. It went on to become the 12th bestseller of the year in the UK for 1995. Roll With It was much further down the list at 45. The bestseller for 1995 was Think Twice, Celine Dion. All in all, it sold 540,000 copies in the United Kingdom. But in the more lucrative albums market, Oasis won the battle, with What's the Story Morning Glory becoming the second bestseller of the year in the UK in 95, behind the Robson and Jerome album. They would have loved that, wouldn't they? And Blur's Great Escape album only managed number 10, and Morning Glory went on to sell 4 million in the United States alone. The song itself was also nominated for Best Video in the 1996 Brit Awards. Whatever Damon Albarn and his band members Alex James, Graham Coxon and Dave Rowntree may think of this song, it helped, along with the band itself of course, to popularise the Britpop genre during the mid-1990s, where boy bands and marketing teams and dance music seemed to be all over the charts. It may have taken a media propaganda battle, pitching northern, hard-drinking working-class heroes in Oasis against a southern, almost middle-class pop band, but it was, for most people who just took a passing interest, a battle which Blur won. It's only when you get behind the story, Morning Glory, and see how many albums Oasis sold in comparison, you get the distinct impression that Blur may have won the battle, but maybe lost the war. Oasis called out Damon Albarn as a loser, but that's just merely a comparison for the moment. How can you possibly call someone with his success and longevity in the business with his band a loser? Maybe they won the war after all. Country House and Blur. And that's it for another Talking Music, where every song has a story. You can, of course, subscribe for more videos. There are plenty more where we get behind the story of a song with facts and information and secrets. So please do subscribe. All you've got to do is click the subscribe button. And of course, it's absolutely free. And hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. So till then, bye-bye.